The FBI just made a U-turn after saying that they will release Tinubu's files in 2026. What happened? What made them change their minds suddenly? First of all, let's look at the backstory. David Hundeyin, Nigerian investigative journalist, in collaboration with Plainsight, made a request from the FBI to release all information, all files they have on Bola Tinubu. Remember that Bola Tinubu forfeited $460,000 being narcotics proceeds to the US government in 1993, and he was investigated by the FBI. All the people that they investigated before they zeroed in on Tinubu, they must have a file on him. So based on all this, even the US Customs said that his home address was used as a drop-off point for packages coming into the United States from West Africa. So definitely someone that fits this kind of character must have a file. And having been investigated in the past, David Hundeyin and Plainsight made that request to get all those information to see what they can find there. But to their surprise, FBI refused. In fact, the only thing they said was that they were going to release them in 2026. So what made them change their minds suddenly to now say that they will release them in October 2023? Although it might not have made a difference if they released these files when the hearing was still going on at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. And by October, when these files will be released by the FBI, that's if they eventually release them, it will be about the time the Supreme Court will be delivering their judgment. Maybe a little bit before the final deadline because they have 60 days to determine the appeal. That's counting from the day the petitioners file their appeal, which of course will still be in this month of September, and counting 6 days, that will be in November. Will it make a difference? The most likely answer is no, because these judges have turned the law upside down. The same Electoral Law 2022, the appeal court justices cited in their judgment and declared that all issues of qualification are pre-election matters. It is this same law, this same Electoral Law 2022, that all other tribunals are still citing and disqualifying candidates. Isn't that a surprise? Isn't that a wonder? The Plateau State National Assembly Tribunal just disqualified the PDP candidate because of invalid nomination and declared the Labour Party candidate the winner of the election. This same invalid nomination was what the APM brought against Tinubu at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. But the judges declared that it was a pre-election matter, that they cannot hear it. This same electoral law. So why the double standards? Why can another tribunal disqualify a candidate based on the same issues? It happened before the election. They brought it to a tribunal after the election. They still disqualified the candidate. But the Presidential Election Tribunal judges did the complete opposite. Wonders shall never end. What about the Katsina State National Assembly Tribunal that disqualified two candidates because they forged their primary school certificates? Primary school. They are still forgeries according to the Constitution. They disqualified them. But in the case of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal that Atiku Abubakar and the PDP brought the issue of forgery, that Tinubu forged the certificate he tendered to INEC, what did they say? They said that they are pre-election matters. They also said that Atiku Abubakar did not front-load it in his petition when he filed it in the first place, thereby making it null and void. These men shamelessly rewrote the Nigerian constitution and electoral law. Mind you, this is not the main contradiction that we want to do. That one is still coming because we've seen it got a lot of traction. Many people actually want to watch this and for the records so that in future people will see how these men messed up our laws. They just turned everything upside down just to arrive at a predetermined result. Somehow, this was exactly what the INEC chairman did, despite assuring Nigerians that they will conduct the election in a particular manner, that they will upload forms EC8As at the polling unit in real time. After all this evidence, the justices now turned around and started making arguments in the favor of INEC. They literally became their counsels. Imagine saying that the IREF was for the public viewing of results, that it wasn't part of any collation system, that INEC didn't need it in any way. So why did Nigeria spend billions on all the infrastructure that will support IREF in the first place? There was nowhere in all their replies, in all their arguments that INEC argued that IREF was for public viewing alone. They were only saying that it was a glitch that prevented them from uploading the results, which means if they accepted that a glitch stopped them, that means they knew that they were under obligation to upload the results. Because if you are making an argument that something prevented you in doing something, that means you already accepted that you were supposed to do that thing. Otherwise, they would have just said, hey, we didn't need it in the first place. No glitch, whether glitch or this, we didn't need it, so forget about it. Looking at this picture of Biden meeting with Tinubu in India during the G20 meeting, and after this meeting, the FBI suddenly announced that they will now release the files in October 2023. Is their sudden change of mind connected to the meeting of Biden and Tinubu in India? Who knows? Maybe he's not doing something they want him to do, so they want to use this as a bargain. Hey, if you don't do this, we'll release these files and the whole world will know who you really are. In other words, get on with the invasion of Niger. We are giving you 1 month to do that. If you don't do it, your files will become public in October. Well, these are just speculations, whatever it is that made them to suddenly change their mind to bring forward the date that they initially announced. It might still not make a difference at the Supreme Court because these men have turned the law upside down. Even the lower courts are better than the higher courts in Nigeria. Imagine that. The senior judges are the ones who should be upholding the law more than the new judges and the lower judges. They are the ones that should be admonishing them and telling them, hey, make sure you uphold the law, interpret the law to the letter. But the reverse is the case. The worst part of it is that all Nigerians, wherever you are, whether you've gotten another citizenship, whether you've left this country for many years, you still feel that shame wherever you are because these men have made our country a laughing stock. Imagine Nigerian judges serving in other African countries as their chief justices. These were the golden years of the Nigerian judiciary. But right now, other African countries are doing better than us. Some of them cancelled their presidential elections. These countries used to look up to us, but now they are doing better than us. Imagine how we have fallen from grace to grass. It's a pity that these men only think about their selfish interest, not the overall interest of Nigerians. Why would they in the first place? Because they don't even believe in the country. All their children are schooling abroad. They themselves, they go on holidays all the time. So from their actions, you will see that they don't even believe in the country. They are not patriotic, but they expect the common man in the streets to be patriotic. They tell you to buy made in Nigerian goods, but they themselves, they never buy made in Nigeria goods. They even go abroad to shop. So who is more patriotic? Nevertheless, we'll keep fighting and talking to make sure that Nigeria becomes better, even if we are able to achieve the level we used to be in 30 years ago. At least that's a start. 30 years ago, everyone was talking about the Millennium 2000, and we were expecting to be at least a mid-level developed country by then. But now we have taken many steps backwards, even to the level of 1960 before independence. That's the level we are right now. Despite all the information available, despite all the technology, we cannot conduct a free and fair election. It's very shameful. Thanks for watching.